Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Stop using global variables, an informative tutorial. Global variables can be tempting to use in programming because they allow for easy data sharing across different functions and modules. However, relying heavily on global variables can lead to a variety of issues, including 1. Reduced readability. It becomes difficult to track where and how global variables are modified. 2. Increased complexity. Functions become less modular and harder to understand when they depend on external state. 3. Difficulties in debugging. Bugs can arise from unexpected changes to global variables, making them hard to trace. 4. Testing challenges. Functions that rely on global state are harder to test in isolation. Best practices to avoid global variables. 1. Use function parameters. Pass variables as parameters to functions instead of relying on global state. 2. Return values. Return values from functions to convey results instead of modifying global state. 3. Encapsulation. Use classes or modules to encapsulate state and behavior, limiting the scope of variables. 4. Constants. If you need values to be shared, consider using constants or configuration objects instead. Example: avoiding global variables. Here's a simple example to illustrate the problems with global variables and how to refactor code to avoid them. Code using global variables. In the example above, we have a global variable counter that is modified by the functions increment and reset. This makes the functions dependent on external state, reducing modularity and increasing the risk of bugs. Refactored code without global variables. Now, let's refactor the code to avoid using global variables by using a class to encapsulate the counter. Benefits of the refactored code. 1. Encapsulation. The counter's state is encapsulated within the counter class, making it easier to manage. 2. Modularity. Each method operates on its own state, leading to clearer and more modular code. 3. Ease of testing. The methods can be tested in isolation without worrying about global state. 4. Improved readability. It's clear which variables belong to which objects, making the code more understandable. Conclusion: avoiding global variables is a good practice that can lead to cleaner, more maintainable, and more testable code. By using function parameters, return values, and encapsulation, you can minimize the reliance on global state and improve the overall quality of your programming projects.